There is nothing that tests our endurance and our patience and our energy more than launching and sustaining a career. I tell you, the amount of grit and sheer energy that it takes could launch a rocket ship into another galaxy. I mean, think about the training that you have to do, honing your craft, the 10,000 hours that you have to accrue in order to become an expert in what you do, cultivating the right relationships. It is relentless and it's endless. And of course, for me, I'm just hoping that there's a little fairy dust or luck that just falls on top of my career dreams and they can magically happen. There is no wonder in my mind why so many of us get burnt out in the pursuit of our dreams. Well, I recently came across this incredible article about migrating bats that gave me a huge epiphany, and I want to thank my friend and filmmaker Uttara Singh for sharing it with me because it's going to transform what you need to do in order to be able to navigate those career transitions. I'm Laverne McKinnon, and I am a career coach and a grief recovery specialist, and I really love to help ambitious-driven people navigate career transitions. Now, that might mean you're moving up the ladder. It could mean that you've been thrown off the ladder through a layoff or being fired, or you might even be trying to just find the ladder as you're just launching your career. Well, I am here to help you. Here's the study in a nutshell. Instead of exhausting themselves by riding to their destination nonstop, migrating bats actually wait for the wind, and then they allow the wind to carry them thousands of miles to get to their destination. So the strategy is all about timing. So rather than burning ourselves out and moving against the forces or moving against the wind, we can actually wait for the right conditions, and then we get to go where we want to go, and we get there having greater energy. We haven't depleted our endurance, and we're ready to tackle the job once we get there. So now this does require patience. It does require vigilance, but I got to tell you, riding the wind like the bats is an amazing strategy. So here's the thing about careers. They don't follow a linear A to B to C to D. They're all over the place. I mean, I can't tell you the number of lawyers I know who are now writers or they've gone on to run nonprofits. We have to accept the fact that it isn't a simple journey forward, and that we have to take moments to pause. And when we pause, why not use that pause to wait for conditions to change so that we can ride that trajectory? Now, I'm going to talk you through 3 strategies to ride the wind like migrating bats. Okay, the first strategy is recognize the right career conditions. I have suffered from this so much personally. My sense of impatience forced me to just go for promotions when the timing was not right. So it's all about monitoring conditions, like looking for industry trends. Maybe there's been a shift in terms of the corporate structure. Maybe there's been a downsizing. Maybe there's a new initiative. And so you want to monitor those types of situations to make an assessment about whether or not you should make a move. Don't let your impatience be your enemy. An example of this was in 2024, where a lot of screenwriters were coming out of the writer and actor strikes from 2023, and they had these new ideas or they had scripts that they had been working on for months or maybe even years, and they had this sense of okay, I'm ready. I want to sell my material. I want to pitch my material, but the marketplace wasn't ready. And I have so many screenwriter friends who wound up taking out their projects, and they were met with a lot of rejection, or, and this was in some ways even more heartbreaking, complete disinterest. They just weren't timing the marketplace. Now, I have another writer friend who was reading the tea leaves, and he waited. And he only went out with his project it was the fall of this past year of 2024. And he wound up setting it up. He sold it to a studio because he was able to keep his impatience in check. He used the opportunity to just be studying, reading what was going on. And he was also cultivating new connections, and he timed it really, really well. The lesson here, timing matters. So don't push through when you know that the conditions are not right. Take a breath and ride the wind. The second strategy is leveraging rest as a strategic move. Even bats have to take a rest when they're migrating these thousands of miles, and we can do the same. So rest is actually not stagnation. It's an opportunity to rebuild your resilience, gain new skills or certifications. It's really an opportunity to get super, super strategic. So I actually had 2 clients who were laid off. They were in the entertainment industry, part of this massive contraction that's going on. And one of the clients took a month to just travel internationally. And then my other client took 6 weeks off, didn't do any traveling, but just stayed at home, did yoga, watched TV, ate Trader Joe's popcorn. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I know that that's what I do when I'm resting, is eating a lot of Trader Joe's popcorn. But when they both came back, they had so much clarity and they felt so grounded and they had a new level of energy and enthusiasm. And one of those clients actually landed an interview first week after that break because she was able to revamp her resume with a sense of focus and energy and clarity that she didn't have before the break. So rest isn't wasted time, it's a strategic move. The final strategy is to trust the process of career transitions. I know you're not going to love to hear this, but transitions take time. And trying to force results is only going to lead to burnout, frustration, anger, confusion. So I'm going to give you another example of another entertainment executive that I knew who was a mid-level creative executive and was really feeling like their career has stalled out. They'd been in the same position for 5 years, but just could not break through and get to that VP level. And they kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And there was a lot of tension within the company that this executive was working on because they were just chomping at the bit. They were ready, but the company wasn't ready for them to be promoted. Now, this person actually noticed a trend in the entertainment industry that more and more people or more buyers were looking to buy projects that were based on intellectual property or IP. So this executive actually made a transition into representing IP. And it took a couple years for their company to gain some momentum, but now their company is wildly successful and was able to navigate the marketplace transition within the entertainment industry over these last couple of years. So it's really, really important to be able to look at transitions with patience and playing a long game rather than trying to force through your agenda and not reading what's going on energetically in your industry. Okay, bottom line, you don't see migrating bats flying into the wind. They are very, very smart about conserving their energy and their resources and timing their flight to their destination very wisely by riding the wind. How many times can I possibly say that in one video? Your career is going to work the same way. Pushing through and trying to go against market forces or go against the wind, it's just going to lead you to burnout. Sustainable effort means that you know when to move and when to rest. Okay, that's it for today. If you want to go a little bit deeper with this work, head on over to Substack, where my Substack called Moonshot Mentor, I have for paid subscribers journal prompts that can help you figure out how you would like to ride the wind of your career. And paid subscribers, I also get co-working sessions over Zoom with me a couple times a month, also meditations as well. And then starting in late April, I'm going to be offering through Substack for paid subscribers a 5-session career grief workshop. And so check it out. It's $5 a month. So super, super easy. I want to thank Lynn Chen for the video editing. And if you want to learn more about how to work with me, head on over to my website, LaverneMcKinnon.com. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope that you enjoyed the story about migrating bats. I found it so inspirational. I'll see you next week.